Scott Stuber gave me some great books to read, one of which was The Sociopath Next Door, which sort of became my Bible that I would refer to in developing the character. I felt he was a sociopath. Ex-CIA rogue agent who has sort of sold his soul for money and for power. I think in his mind he wants to get back at the system, at the CIA, or just the system in general, and you know, is willing to do anything to do that. I think that Tobin Frost has been so isolated for so long. He doesn't know how to feel. He doesn't have feelings. He just knows how to use. You know, he has no family, no relationships. He just uses people. I mean, drinks good wine. You know, Ryan's contemporaries, and Daniel was really set on him, and I just trusted him on that. You know, and Ryan is a very good actor who works very hard as well, and we had good chemistry. So I think, and he has an inherent innocence that I think was right for the part. Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, that, and I'm glad that Daniel loved doing that, you know, to get the real texture, the real feeling, you know, to shoot in the townships. And that's one of the beautiful and great things about Cape Town. It's so diverse, you know, from downtown to the townships, to the ocean, to the mountains. It's a very unique place. So I really enjoyed doing that. There's a lot of action, but there's psychological jousting. There's beautiful locations, South Africa, and great characters and great actors playing the characters. And I think Daniel's fashioned an excellent and unique film. The style of it, I think, is unique.
Everything is very easy between Anna and Matt. They're like really in love, no pressure. They really want to make it together. They really want to build something strong, you know. Sometimes if Anna feels that she cannot see and feel everything from Matt, because he's sometimes hiding things, and she's not like, she's aware of a few things. She's aware that he's not always here for her, like. But she's like very cool, and she understands everything, and she loves him so much, maybe more than herself, that she would do a lot of things to make this relationship work. Yeah, working with these amazing actors, I mean, Denzel Washington, Ryan Reynolds, Faris, they're all amazing actors, and it's really like a dream.
Well, Barlow is at a particular level in the CIA. He's been a field operator at a high level. You know, he was running his own branch, his own operations, and was, as all field people do, or as many do, are the best of them. He was pushed into a desk and asked to control it from the office, which I don't think he's particularly happy about, but nevertheless he has a particular way of sorting problems out. And he has a kind of a mentoring, he's had a mentoring role with Matt Weston, who is the housekeeper. And when we meet him first, basically he's more or less advising this guy just to hang tight and learn his craft and not try to push things and not try to advance himself too far and jump on to the next level until he's ready. So that there is a very clear, we learn that he has trained this young kid, and there's a very clear mentoring role involved. So there's a quasi sort of father-son relationship going on. Barlow understands that, and in a way is a kindred spirit to Frost, because he has seen that, you know, he has a certain amount of well-earned wisdom with regard to how rough the world can get. And he has made his own compromises, but Frost is, for him, the enemy.
I play Catherine Linklater. I think her primary function is to collect accurate information and relevant information about sort of ill-willed plans and intentions and capabilities of U.S. adversaries on the continent of Africa. She is a gal who's sort of worked her way up through the ranks of CIA analysis and is in the present sort of powerful position of branch chief of Africa Division. And that's what she's supposed to do, is to collect sort of trusty intel. Tobin Frost is that adversary, that she's supposed to be on the lookout for. He's, clearly, actually, she doesn't know enough about him. As his emergence comes as a surprise to her, but she does know that he's a turncoat. She knows that he's a traitor. She knows he's extremely dangerous and wily, crafty, elusive, quite dangerous. Matt Weston for Linklater is he's an ants in the pants case officer. He's had only a year experience guarding a safe house in Cape Town. There hasn't been much action within those 360 some days. So to her, he's pretty inexperienced, and even becomes more so when Matt to her becomes known as the guy who loses Tobin Frost. She doesn't have much faith in him.
Matt Weston is a young CIA operative who runs a safe house in Cape Town, and a safe house is kind of like a safe harbor for other CIA agents to come and stay the night, or a place where you would pass on intel. Occasionally, it's a place where you'd interrogate somebody. But a safe house is just that. It's a safe place for CIA agents to kind of gather. And Matt is a housekeeper, is the kind of nickname they use for someone of Matt's profession. And I just take care of this safe house. It's an incredibly low-level CIA job. It's boring. It's one of those. It's a sort of a penance you have to pay in the CIA. You have to do your time there, and then you can kind of move on to more exciting stuff. But in the case of Safe House, the film, the exciting stuff comes to Matt before he gets to go to it. Tobin Frost is he's a former CIA agent who he went off book and went rogue, and he's kind of like the Aldrich Ames of this generation. He's a guy that has sold countless intelligence secrets to various opposing nations to the United States, and billions of dollars worth of intel as well. And he's a guy that seems to have an incredible fortitude for moral flexibility. He doesn't really follow any kind of particular ethics or morals in any way, shape, or form. He's definitely a guy that walks the line. He toes the line of the CIA. He's a guy that goes by the book. He's a guy that doesn't, ever, step out of bounds. And by the end of the film, he's just really just trying to stay alive by whatever means necessary. So you see that huge shift. If you spend time with Daniel, you kind of see where he's coming from. I mean, he's like this, he's unlike anyone I've ever worked with or even met before. I mean, he's like this incredibly wise, intuitive, intellectual thug, which is sort of a weird combination for a person. So it gives him this incredible street sense and this feeling like he's a guy who could very easily be in a bar fight, and at the same time, he could be, he's you could name any book and there's a good chance that he's read it before you. It was seen with great action in it. It has to be done in a way that's inventive and new and something you haven't seen before. And I just like how Olivier's style and how he's approached the fight scenes in this particular film. There's nothing polished about it. There's no kung fu. Matt is not a trained fighter. So, when we are, in these scenes, these intense fight scenes, you're seeing, veins popping out of people's necks, and, it's ugly and nasty, and it's kill or be killed. And there's something kind of raw and primal and deeply screwed up about it. And, I think that's gonna have people leaning into him a little bit more than, something like that you would see in The Matrix or, even Born Identity. I think it's much more interesting to watch a guy who is forced to fight when he doesn't want to, than it is to see someone who's very, you know, well versed in this kind of activity. You know, I think it's one of those films that, you know, you're really gonna have an opportunity to see a variety of different things. I mean, I think it appeals to people who are just, you know, pure adrenaline action junkies, and at the same time, it's a character piece. I mean, as actors, I think, you know, none of us are particularly attracted to just shooting a movie that is you know, an action film, because they're hard. I mean, you get your ass kicked. You know, it's tough getting up off the ground. You know, I remember 10 years ago, falling on cement was hilarious. Now it hurts. It feels just like cement. But you know, we're attracted to the film because it's a character piece, and I think that you know, those two, when you get those two components right, when you have an action film that is also you know, deeply rooted in character, you get something really incredible and rewarding out of it for both sides. People are going to come to look for both aspects.